100 mercury-free gold processing equipment formally operational for small-scale miners. Accra Tema Motorway development project with 3 separate interchanges to start in August this year. Businessman who allegedly attempted to sacrifice his daughter for money ritual operation to commit crime. And UK MPs voting on Mr. Boris Johnson's future as Prime Minister. Good evening and welcome to News Hour on GBC News, your news and governance channel. We're live on Ghana Television. We're also streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. I have Robert Frimpon Manso to translate the news into sign language. I am Rahmatu Mahamud Jawandu. Good evening. 100 mercury-free gold processing equipment, commonly referred to as gold catcher, are now formally operational for small-scale miners. The equipment has the capacity to recover 90% of gold from the ore without using mercury. This means it saves both artisanal miners and the environment from the harmful effect of mercury. When President Akufo-Addo inaugurated he said 300 more of the gold catchers will be procured to promote clean mining in the small-scale mining sector.
The machines, 100 in all, are meant for small-scale miners in the various mining communities. The gold catcher is designed to handle up to 300 tons of ore per hour. It saves time and is deemed more profitable. Its simple and robust nature makes it the preferred choice for Ghana's terrain. Modeled for small-scale applications, the gold catcher is able to recover precious metals from damp tailings, rubble beds and alluvial sands. Satisfied with the equipment, the Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources in charge of mines, Mr. George Mirikuduka, was confident the small-scale mining sector would be more profitable in the years ahead.
I'm so impressed seeing this. We're looking at mechanisms where we can also build local
We apologize for the wrong video. We bring you the video now. We bring you that story later. The 16th West African Mining Power Exhibition and Conference in Accra has ended with a resolve by participants to use technology and products that will promote sustainable mining.
Our exhibition and conference was under the theme Advancing a Legacy of Sustainable and Responsible Mining Through Innovation and Partnerships. The platform gave the players opportunity to showcase their modern, sustainable technological products in Accra. Some participants say the 3-day exhibition has ended successfully and enabled them to broker deals which is in sync with the growth prospects of their companies. The communication manager for NESRA, Mr. Nanayaw Ampemdakwintri, said mining companies should continually use products which will enhance the health and safety of their employees and the people in their catchment areas.
Over the years, our core competencies have been giving value-added services and then giving top-notch solution to problems that arise or maybe the needs of the mining sector. As channel partners to offer top-notch solutions to the mining sector in the area of safety and security, power tools, generators. We have Schneider ABB that provide conductors and outdoor panels.
Sustainable mining also demands that players in the industry adhere to practices that seek to reduce carbon emissions.
Rehabilitation works.
The Accra Tema Motorway development project is set to commence in August this year. The Minister for Roads and Highways, Mr. Kwesi Amwakwata, said the project, when completed, will have 3 separate interchanges in that stretch. He made this known on a weekend visit to the motorway in Accra.
Rehabilitation works are ongoing on some parts of the Accra-Tema Motorway. The inspection team first the motorway, where the minister looked at work on the La Klapa River Bridge. The director of bridges at the Ghana Highway Authority, Mr. Yakub Kori, said the bridge has developed defects and work is underway under the bridge for now. Work at the summit of the bridge is expected to start on Friday evening, and for which reason will be closed to traffic on the carriage road. Tow trucks will be available to deal with vehicles that may break down during the 3-week period of work.
Certain sections of the deck slab have developed defects, and we need to replace that. We are going to be diverting traffic from this carriageway onto the other one, and that is going to start Friday evening, when we start our activities on the carriageway.
Roads and Highways Minister, Mr. Kwesi Amwakwata, mentioned that the Accra-Tema Motorway project will have 3 separate interchanges with 10 lanes when the project is complete in 2024.
I want Ghanaians to know that this entire motorway stretch, from Tema to Tetekwashi in Accra, measuring about 19.5 kilometers, is going to be rehabilitated, and we are at the concluding ends of the discussion. Maximum by August, we are going to cut salt for work to start.
The last stop was at A-Live Junction on the Teshinungwa Road. The minister cautioned the contractor to make safety a priority and speed up work. He said the La Beach Road project will be dualized at the end of its construction. A 3-tier interchange will also be built at the Junction Mall in Nungwa.
A ticket for this year's Hajj is going for 39,000 Ghana cedis for each prospective Ghanaian pilgrim. Ghana's quota for the Islamic religious exercise has, however, been cut down by almost 45%. Speaking to the media in Accra, the chairman of the Hajj board, Sheikh Isikwe, said all other prospective pilgrims who had already deposited their monies from 2019 will be expected to top up with 7,000 Ghana cedis before they will be eligible to participate in the 2022 Hajj. We'll bring you that story later. This man who allegedly attempted to sacrifice his daughter for money ritual purposes has been remanded into police custody by the Domestic Violence and Support Center Court in Accra. Mr. Evans Chichiku Opon was arrested on June 3, 2022, after he allegedly took his 11-year-old daughter to a herbalist at Oyibikom in Accra for her to be killed in a bid to become rich. He has been given a preliminary charge of preparation to commit crime, and his plea has been reserved by the court.
Court documents state that a suspect had gone to the herbalist for what he described as spiritual cleansing, avert his financial difficulties following his return from the Netherlands. The suspect, per court document, was initially ordered to provide a live python for the sacrifice, but he instead suggested a human as a replacement due to his fear for snakes. It was against this backdrop that he decided to take his 11-year-old daughter to the spiritualist for her to be killed for the rituals. The prosecutor, Chief Inspector Richard Amoa, pleaded with the court to remand the accused to enable the police to conduct a thorough investigation into the matter. He said the accused was arrested on Friday, June 3, hence investigations into the matter only began on Monday, 5, 2022. Mr. Ralph Ejapong, counsel for the accused, did not oppose the request by the prosecutor, but pleaded with the court to order the police to allow him access to the accused person so he could have conference with him. The magistrate, Madam Ama Adoma Kukwache, remanded the accused into police custody and directed the police to allow counsel access to him on Tuesday and Thursdays between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. She adjourned the case to June 20, 2022. The brief facts of the case state that a 47-year-old in May 2022 had a discussion with a friend about facing financial difficulties, and the friend suggested that he would need a spiritual cleansing to turn things around for him. According to the prosecutor, the friend later introduced the suspect to one Nana Fusu, aka Nana Keke, to assist him see a spiritualist for help. On May 29, Nana Fusu took the suspect to Nana Edubuafo Jr., who is a spiritualist and a herbalist at Oibikon for money rituals. The spiritualist feigned interest and told the suspect to furnish him with a date of birth of his last two children to enable him determine which of them will be suitable for the sacrifice. The prosecutor said on May 31, the suspect rang the victim's mother to confirm the day the victim was born and told her that he will pick up the victim to be taken to a friend who had returned from abroad for measurement so that a dress will be sewn for her. The spiritualist then alerted the Oibi police about the intended human sacrifice by the suspect, and the police urged him to play along with the suspect so he could be arrested when he produces the child at the herbal center for the said sacrifice. On June 3, the suspect arrived at the herbal center with the victim as she was instructed by the spiritualist to sit in the hall, whilst the suspect was also instructed to change his clothing on the compound and was later given a white calico to tie around his waist. The suspect was then given a concoction to bath, and in the course of that, the spiritualist called in the Oibi police, who came and arrested him and rescued the victim.
The Akans call it Anguamo and the Gans Omokefo. You can translate Anguamo loosely as oiled rice because of its unique cooking process. The rice is tossed in the oil with onion before introducing the water into the mixture to cook. This gives the rice a heavily flavor like other fried rice recipes where other ingredients are added to the rice. You can add tolo beefy, salted beef, to elevate the overall taste of Anguamo. This is a classic and straightforward to make dish. It is so easy to prepare. So join me and discover yet another Ghanaian rice dish.
The ingredients for this classic favorite dish of most Ghanaians are fairly simple. All you need to prepare Anguamo are rice, onions, salted beef or tolo beef, water and salt if needed. It is one of the easiest dishes you will make. You can find several versions of Anguamo or oiled rice depending on the type of oil used to cook. I'm sure you will be excited to taste all of them. For our Anguamo, we will use virgin coconut oil. Jasmine rice is best for this dish as it has a light texture with a mouth-watering aroma. Now let's start cooking. Add water and bay leaf to the tolo beef and set aside for about an hour to reduce the saltiness of the tolo beef and also keep it marinated. Steam the tolo beef for a few minutes. Wash rice, drain and dry. In a pot, heat the oil and toss the chopped onions in hot oil. The quantity of oil used is to ensure the cooked rice maintains a perfect glossy sheen. Take out half of the onion and set aside. Add the salted beef and mix well and let it cook for a few minutes. Add rice and fry over medium heat for about 5 minutes, stirring constantly. Add the water and stir well. Cook for 5 minutes. Add the remaining onion and leave on fire until cooked. Remove from heat, cover and let stand 5 minutes before serving. Serve with freshly ground pepper with lots of onions or shito. Add fried eggs or any protein of your choice. Your favorite Anguamo is served. Enjoy.
100 mercury-free gold processing equipment, commonly referred to as gold catcher, are now formally operational for small-scale miners. The equipment has the capacity to recover 90% of gold from the ore without using mercury. This means it saves both artisanal miners and the environment from the harmful effect of mercury. When President Akufo-Addo inaugurated the equipment in Accra, he said 300 of the gold catchers will be procured to promote clean mining in the small-scale mining sector.
The mining sector contributes the largest receipt of taxes to Ghana's national kitty. However, due to the activities of some illegal mining operators, the sector sits at the top when it comes to the pollution of water bodies and wanton destruction of forest cover in the country. Also, the use of mercury by illegal artisanal miners in the extraction of gold from the ore had left in its train high levels of toxic that can permanently damage the brain, kidneys and developing fetus. As part of efforts by the government of President Akufo-Addo to save the ecosystem for posterity, strategies were deployed, including the use of law enforcement agents to clamp down on galamsey and promotion of safe mining practices. And the latest move by the government to promote sustainable mining is the procurement of 100 mercury-free gold processing equipment. It is also known as gold catcher. The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Samuel Abujinapo, said the vision of the government is to bring much-needed development and prosperity to all Ghanaians through safe and sustainable mining.
This is part of the broader vision of the Akufo-Addo government to make Ghana the mining hub of Africa, where all mining and mining-related activities, from exploration to downstream production and from innovation to research, will be centered.
Inaugurating the mercury-free gold processing equipment at the Black Star Square in Accra, President Akufo-Addo said the equipment will not only give value for money, but also save the environment from destruction.
This equipment, I'm told, also has the capacity to recover over 90% of gold from the ore, and therefore gives small-scale miners much more gold than they would have obtained from the traditional method of using mercury.
The president reiterated that his government is not against small-scale mining, but wants to ensure that generations yet unborn are not denied safe drinking water and better ecosystem.
To help protect the environment, we've had to take far-reaching measures, such as authorizing the involvement of the military in Operation Halt, as well as decommissioning and demobilizing machines and equipment used for illegal mining in forest reserves and water bodies, which have been designated red zones for mining. Far-reaching and biting as these measures have been, they were necessary to halt and reverse the trend of ever-increasing turbidity of our water and the continuing degradation of our lands, and to safeguard our environment for posterity.
Ghana's drive towards a mercury-free mining environment is in line with the Minamata Convention on Mercury, which came into effect in October 2013 in Japan, and Ghana ratified it in 2017. Edward Nyako reporting for GBC News.
At an event to mark World Environment Day in the Northeast region, The Nifahine of the Techiman Traditional Council, Nana Boachi Ameya Pentemprem, said successive governments should enforce the rules and regulations on environmental protection to prevent the activities of selfish individuals from further degradation. It was organized in Techiman by the Northeast Regional Directorate of the Environmental Protection Agency in collaboration with the Ghana Nuts Limited.
World Environmental Day spreads awareness and encourages actions to protect the environment. The Nifahine of the Techiman Traditional Council, Nana Boachi Ameya Pentemprem II, said it is important for all Ghanaians to cultivate the habit of going green by growing grass and planting trees around their homes and communities to realize its benefits on the environment.
Ghana is poor, not because we lack natural resources, but because we lack attitudes, desirable attitudes. Some individuals want to take advantage over everything and over everyone. Let us therefore be guided by our national anthem of patriotism.
Speaking on the local theme, Save Tano River, Secure Our Future, the Bono East Regional Director of the EPA, Mr. Anthony Dria, appealed to all to complement the effort to protect the country's water, land and air. An officer in charge of safety, health and environment at Ghana Nuts Company Limited, Mr. Michael Ohiming, said human activities around the Tano River continue to pose a threat to the region's resources, leading to pollution of the river.
Ghana Nuts with EPA are embarking on planting 3,000 trees along the banks of the Tano River to check for erosion and sensitize farmers and communities on the need to protect the water body.
The Municipal Chief Executive for Techiman, Mr. Benjamin Yaojakon, said the government will do all it can to protect the country's natural resources.
The Techiman Municipal Assembly, in an effort to check environmental degradation, has set up the environmental subcommittee to assist in resuscitation of the depleted forests and check unauthorized sand and stone mining in the municipality.
Other dignitaries, including the Chief Director of the Bono East Regional Coordinating Council, Mr. George Padmore Mensah, called for all hands on deck to protect the country's natural resources. The event was climaxed with a tree planting exercise along the banks of River Tano.
A call to action for a cleaner and greener environment is the focus of this year's World Environment Day. In Accra, the day was marked on the theme, Only One Earth, with a slogan, Beat Plastic Pollution.
Celebrated globally on June 5 every year, the day is set aside by the United Nations, UN, to inspire worldwide awareness and action to protect the environment. The ceremony was attended by members of parliament, students, officials of the Environmental Protection Agency and members of the public. At the event, a deputy director of the Environmental Protection Agency, Mr. Ebenezer Apasapon, called on Ghanaians to be ambassadors for plastic waste management.
Plastics is money. As you throw them away, you are throwing away money. Let's collect them from the households, in the offices, in the marketplaces, in the shopping mall, and deliver them for recycling. Everybody here should be an ambassador for plastic waste management.
The MP for Anyaso Utun, Mr. Dixon Adomako Kisi, asked planning authorities in districts, municipalities, and the EPA to spearhead the fight against environmental pollution by enforcing the requisite laws and regulations.
Our water bodies cannot be polluted with plastics. It's unacceptable. It is not something we should encourage. Every industry leader, government agency leader should be committed to engaging in the most pragmatic, collaborative, and flexible way possible to achieve environmental benefits for our children, ourselves, and future generations.
The Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Kwekwe Friye, said the ministry has invented the plastic preventive module to check plastic pollution in the country.
The Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, in collaboration with key stakeholder institutions and its private sector partners, will delineate the country into grades for proper collection, storage and recycling of plastics. That's what we call the preventive model.
The MP for Korle Klottey, Ms. Zenato Ajiman Rawlins, encouraged the use of alternative materials instead of plastics.
West African leaders on Saturday failed to agree what action to take against military juntas in Mali, Burkina Faso and Guinea, postponing a decision for a month. ECOWAS, however, said they would attend the worsening political and security situations in those countries. In an interview with a security analyst and senior lecturer at the University of Education, Winneba, Dr. Ajali Mensah said many countries were not expecting ECOWAS to lift the sanctions. He mentioned that the only surprise is that ECOWAS has not been able to agree on whether to impose new sanctions or extend the earlier sanctions.
As a matter of principle, the AU and ECOWAS have decided that any country that is being ruled by a military junta will not be allowed to operate in certain ways in the region, in order that they can express their disagreement with that kind of form of government. The issue is that it's a de facto extension of the existing sanctions. The question is whether the current sanctions are serving any purpose at all. The sanctions are making some impact, but the impact is not on the leadership of those countries. The impact is on the citizens of those countries. The purpose of sanctions is to stir up the ordinary citizens to take action against their own government. But obviously, these ordinary citizens seem to have been giving their support to the government. So in that case, it's tricky.
The University of Environment and Sustainable Development at Somenya in the Eastern region have invested Professor Eric Nyako Sampson as its first Vice-Chancellor and inducted into office Mrs. Mary Abena Ejipon as Registrar. At the ceremony, the Deputy Minister for Education, Reverend John Intim Fojo, urged the university to focus on its mandate and to help solve environmental challenges in the country. Under the Green Ghana project, the Forestry Commission and the Sector Ministry have launched the One Student, One Tree initiative at the Agri Memorial Zion Senior High School in Cape Coast. The Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Benito Obusubio, encouraged the students to be actively involved in the project to help safeguard Ghana's forest and vegetation belts.
1.6 million seedlings have been allocated to the central region as part of this year's Green Ghana project. The region exceeded its targets during the exercise last year, and to ensure improvement on that this year, the number of seedlings in the region was tripled to serve all of its 22 districts. Launching the project, the Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Benito Obusubio, commended the region for attaining about 85% success during the exercise last year. He was hopeful the youth, especially students, would put in their best effort.
We respectfully request all students in Ghana to plant a tree each, grow it, and nurture it to maturity by tagging your name to each tree that you plant, so that even while you have completed school, your colleagues, especially your friends who will still be on campus, will continue to maintain the trees on your behalf.
The Central Regional Minister, Madame Justina Marigold Asson, said the region was poised to once again exceed the Green Ghana project target. The Central Regional Manager of the Forestry Commission, Mr. Michael Pentel, demonstrated how the seedlings should be planted to avoid wastage.
You don't plant the seedling with the polypods. Then you put the seedling with the soil. After covering, you press it with your hand or with your foot so that the soil can every part of the roots.
Environmental ambassadors Rocky Dawuni and Kofi Kinata, as well as students of the Agri Memorial SHS, performed songs and poetry on the importance of trees to mankind.
Dr. To our earlier story, a ticket for this year's Hajj is going for 39,000 Ghana cedis for each prospective Ghanaian pilgrim. Ghana's quota for the Islamic religious exercise has, however, been cut down by almost 45%. Speaking to the media in Accra, the chairman of the Hajj board, Sheikh Isikwe, said all other prospective pilgrims who had already deposited their monies from 2019 will be expected to top up with 7,000 Ghana cedis before they will be eligible to participate in the 2022 Hajj.
I'm pleased to inform you Ghana is ready to participate in Hajj 2022. Our official quota of 3,069 was communicated to us. With government's help and assistance, we have been able to arrive at a Hajj fee of 39,000. For those Ghanaian pilgrims who kept their fee deposits with us in 2020 and did not opt for a refund, when Hajj was cancelled in 2020 and 2021, the Hajj board has duly taken note of their faith in wanting to perform Hajj whenever a date was announced. For their steadfastness, the Hajj board has agreed that they would pay a fee of 26,500, which will require a top-off additional payment of 3,000. Very soon we are going to Hajj. 16 days, we are commencing the flight from Tamale, and then we come to Accra, and we go and perform the Hajj with ease and comfort.
You're watching News Hour here on GBC News, your news and governance channel. We're streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. Up next is business.
Tell them I'm not in, Tell them.
When you evade taxes, you put yourself at risk of prosecution. Do the right thing. Pay your duties and taxes online, through the bank, or from your phone on time. And let's put ignition.
Let us tell you the truth, it's not the magic that make a dream come true. It makes you achieve, but it's your hard work and your persistence. That's the way you will succeed. Dream the big goal, get up and do the roll. Let us see you roll, but it's a long way to go. Whoa, Vitamin will help you walk the extra mile. If you don't have enough energy when you find yourself lost in weary, don't worry. If your stomach is empty, then you're far from wealthy. Eat up, come on. Let us be your friend.
This advert is FD.
Ago, good people of Ghana, the time has come once again as we plant 20 million tree seedlings on 10th June across the country.
The true meaning of life is to plant trees.
This campaign is proudly brought to you by the Government of Ghana under the auspices of the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, Forestry Commission, with support from Green Ghana. Let's go planting.
Madam High Sense in you. Yeka High Sense ya. Mwamu nimse eye home appliances a. Efe. Eye papa. Entry power. Ne buwana so dafo. High Sense a ubeto wa abrochenu. Sa quality na ubeto ni Ghana. And nunti na yenya hoto so ya mau. 5 years manufacture defect warranty. Say a refrigerator. Chest freezer. Air condition, television, sound system, water dispenser, microwave oven, blender, gas cooker, electric cooker, washing machine, smartphone, rice cooker, kettle, and iron. Yahu sensi oto, nasa forma yedi. Enti abuano die, yesisi ene pa mo bia. Enti Bora High Sense showroom bia. Kona die. High Sense.
Good evening. It's Monday. Welcome to Business, brought to you by QNet. My name is Morris. So, but in a very first story, fuel price today crossed the 10 cedi per litre price at the pump. Major oil marketing companies such as Shell and Total have adjusted their prices to reflect the rising crude oil prices on the international market. The latest price increase confirms analysts' projections that fuel price will cross 10 cedis if the tensions in Ukraine continues. Crude oil price hit $119 a barrel on the international market today, largely driven by the Russian-Ukraine war. There are predictions also that the price of crude could hit $185 if the war protracts. At this point, many African countries are in a fix in dealing with the rising fuel price, its associated inflation, and the general rise in the cost of living. Away from that story, government statistician Professor Kobina Enim says compared to their output, workers in the public sector are generally overpaid. He stressed that public sector workers earn incomes equal to output. The government statistician was speaking at an inaugural lecture at the University of Cape Coast in the Central Region.
Speaking at an inaugural lecture at the University of Cape Coast, Professor Samuel Kobina Enim stated that averagely, public sector workers in the country are paid double for their output. He indicated that while earnings for the average public sector worker is about 3,420 Ghana cedis, the average output in the sector is about 1,420 Ghana cedis. This, he said, is less than half of their earnings. The government statistician mentioned that the tenure of officers in public sector institutions and organizations should be renewed or revoked based on whether targets are achieved or not. He said public sector workers must earn salaries equal to their output and also spend exactly what they earn. He also called for the creation of a Public Productivity Committee of Parliament, something similar to the Public Accounts Committee, to ensure that ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, and the public sector in general deliver output commensurate with their earnings.
That was Business, brought to you by QNet. The energy news is after this break. Stay with us.
Let us tell you the truth, it's not the magic that make a dream come true. It makes you achieve, but it's your heart, your persistence. That's the way you will succeed. Dream the big goal, get up and do the road. Let us see you roll, but it's a long way to go. Vitamin will help you walk the extra mile. If you don't have enough energy when you find yourself lost in weary, don't worry. If your stomach is empty, then you're far from wealthy. Eat up, come on. Let us be your friend.
This advert is FDA approved. There are so many places we dream of being, and people we would love to share these moments with. Well, that power can be in your hands. Life is now. Sign up to our credit card and enjoy up to 45 days interest-free credit so you can ease your cash flow for other investments. Join the Visa Exclusive Club with a priority pass to over 1,200 airport lounges, a collection of luxury hotels and global concierge services, 24/7 customer service, multi-trip insurance and emergency top-ups. Track your expenses and payments easily. Use on over 24 million ATMs worldwide with rewards and discounts at selected merchants and cashback for every purchase you make. All with the flexibility of blocking and unblocking your card.
There's Republic Visa Classic, Adishi, Business and Infinite Credit Cards.
Republic Bank, we are the one for you.
pacho mi di se votu yawo fa mi ta ma ganya ge COVID-19 eye COVID-19 to fan eba won yo gbo ka segbe de fo afaba ni ganya ge COVID-19 to fan eba doji to fa kome ne ba nye gbo yi de fo afaba ina mi se wa ke to fan mi gbo eko o mi ta ni nye me fe mo fi am agbo eko mi gbo la ne mi go be to nji ege je ni ga omo go gbo ele gbogbo ni mo te mi ngbu o mo fi amo obo mo de ni o agbo nye me ni ya ni o ya ila chamo ni benke ni nu ni nya agbo COVID-19 to fane eko keji oye afi ni maga nu mo ke ya o ba nyo ogbu ni ke to fane eko ni kenya ke ga gbe bo mo de no ke face mask e agbo ogun da agbo every day anytime sando nyobu for the form ke samla yenu ni o shishi ko na nu wa no ke sanitizer ashishi ode tele anye ne ko mu ye ne ge ila ni age woga bua shi gbaba wo fe wote inyeme ke nwoku me nyele anye ne ko mu nyawa wa gbua to fane ego amlo ne no.
Hello, good evening. You're live on News Hour with Mabel Anang. Let's do some energy stories. To our first story, the chief executive of the Ghana Grid Company, Gridco, Mr. Ebenezer Saying, says encroachment under its transmission lines, overgrowth of vegetation and illegal mining around power towers are major setbacks to the company's operations. These activities, he explains, undermine efforts at ensuring reliable transmission of electricity. Mr. Saying was speaking at a media briefing in Accra.
Overgrowth under a transmission line because of where the lines pass. We have lines that leave western region, must go towards Ashanti region and continue to the north. From western towards Ashanti, it's a whole thick forest, but the lines must find a way to go. So the undergrowth are there that we need to clear. When we say clear, it is we weeding and make sure that when the lines sag, they don't touch the trees that create disturbances for us. Another major concern to us, and here, our friends for the media, you need to help us to address this. Those who encroach on our right of way and stay under the lines, either to do business or their household, it's a real challenge. It is extremely dangerous. And we need to bring ourselves to mind of the dangers while we stay there, and also the risk associated with a tower collapsing or the water falling, and also even impeding us if we need to go do work under. I'm saying no bounds. They go all the way chasing the resources that they want, forgetting the point that the towers that are there are for our collective good. Because we've had situations where Galamsey, because we need to relocate our towers just to ensure the reliability of our supply to our country.
As part of Ghana's energy transition plan, the nation is considering relying more on natural gas as an alternative clean source of energy. The country also has a lot of lithium deposits, which will be very useful when electric vehicles take over from fossil-fuel powered vehicles. Deputy Energy Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam said this at a meeting in Accra as part of a series of nationwide engagements on the new energy agenda.
We see natural gas as transition fuel. Because apart from the renewables and maybe nuclear, that is the other clean, resource that you have within the hydrocarbon chain. And so, if we have to transition, we cannot do that without natural gas providing the base load electricity. even to support the deployment of renewable. I mean, he talked about the intermittency problems. He also talked about the storage problems. And so if you have to supply reliable electricity, you certainly need the base load. And we can get the base load from clean nuclear or from clean hydrocarbon. And the cleanest in the hydrocarbon chain, in our view, is natural gas. And this is why we want to recognize natural gas as even European countries have also now recognized natural gas as transition.
Let's get some power data and the water level in the Akosombo and Bui Dam. Ends the energy segment. My name is Mabel Anang.
Good business means seeing the possibilities and maximizing opportunities. Making sure you have a responsive support system backs your business goals. A partner that gives you a stable platform with reliable connectivity and seamless solutions, and better understands the tools required to take you to the next level. With so many moving parts in running a business, we do our best to find some stability. The only kind of stability you can find with MTN Business Broadband, the fastest and most reliable internet provider in Ghana, making sure you stay ahead and stay connected, because we understand what makes your business tick.
Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh or call or WhatsApp 0244 308 111.
MTN.
The show was a jar or bar anyone conquer dim.
The groom is sick.
What?
Malaria.
Malaria. Lufat. Lufat.
Injija wohoma malaria enka won to them. Lufat, eye malaria drop a cope.
And now you may kiss.
Entrance Pharmaceuticals and Research Center. And aye Lufat. Lufat, a two malaria sententem. FDA ajetede inkrato atum.
You're welcome to the health segment brought to you by kind courtesy Lufat. The news of the 42-year-old businessman, Mr. Evans Opon, who offered his daughter to be killed for money rituals, was met with condemnation from the public. Yet the trauma on the involvement cannot be quantified. The manner in which the news was disclosed to the 11-year-old girl and her mother by the police leaves much to be desired. Mr. Bright Appiah is the executive of Child Rights International, and he shared his thoughts on GTV Breakfast. But let's hear from the mother how the incident was reported to her. That story later. A response plan for vaccine-related events has been developed by the Ghana Health Service. The document defines the clear roles and responsibilities of the stakeholders at the national, regional and district levels for effective response. It was developed with support from the Food and Drugs Authority and the Center for Disease Control.
In order to prevent misinformation which has the potential to derail the gains with immunization program, the FDA, together with the EPI, has developed a vaccine-related event response plan to outline roles, responsibilities of various stakeholders in communication in case of rumors, adverse events following immunization, and anything which may negatively affect vaccination program.
That's all in this segment.
Every Wednesday at 9:05 a.m. live on GBC News, Unique 95.7 and all GBC regional stations, and on Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, and a repeat on the same day at 11 p.m. on GTV. Focus, putting the issues in perspective.
You will come to the sports segment brought to you by kind courtesy Azar Paint. Black Stars centre-back Jonathan Mensah has been discharged from the hospital a day after he sustained an injury while playing for the national team.
The Columbus Crew defender was involved in a head injury during an aerial challenge with his Central African Republic opponent during Ghana's Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers at the 11th the November Stadium in Luanda, Angola. He was rushed to the clinical Girasol in Luanda for treatment, having suffered concussion during the head clash. The CT scan conducted on him revealed no major damage, but the player was allowed to spend the night at the hospital to allow doctors further assess him before he was discharged. He was the game to be halted temporarily for about 7 minutes before he was substituted with Edmond Adu playing at the centre-back. 24 hours after the incident, the player has been discharged and has joined his teammates. It is unclear if the player will be part of the team expected to travel to Japan for the four-nation tournament. The Black Stars will play against Tunisia, Japan, and Chile in the tournament.
Thank you. Talk to the family, anything? Yeah.
That's all in this segment brought to you by Azar Paints.